This doesn't happen a lot, but sometimes I go out to film something fully expecting it to be good. Something I can point to and say, more places should do this. That's what I thought would happen when I visited the small bus system in Northern Virginia. I didn't think it would be perfect, but I didn't think it would be this bad.
The next and last stop is Franconia, Springfield. Doors opening on the left. Doors opening.
Hey everybody, welcome to a brand new Trains Are Awesome video. I'm Tom and I'm at Franconia Springfield Station in Virginia. Franconia Springfield is the southern terminus of the Washington Metro Blue Line. It is also served by the VRE commuter rail, but today we're here to talk about buses, specifically the TAGS buses. Let's grab a schedule real quick from the kiosk and then we'll head down to the bus bays. So I've made it to the bus bays here at Franconia Springfield. We're going to ride the TAGS buses. TAGS stands for the Transportation Association of Greater Springfield, and the bus service is run by Fairfax Connector. Springfield is a town in Fairfax County, Virginia, one of 67 Springfields in the US. It has a few, I guess we can call them attractions. There's a mall, strip mall, Hilton Hotel, community college, and the TSA headquarters. The TAGS system connects all of these attractions with the Franconia Springfield Metro station. TAGS, the association, seems to be in the business of educating and advocating for this bus service. The actual service is provided by an actual bus operator. It used to be WMATA. They ran the S80 and S91 routes. But in 2020, Metro was threatening to cut the service. So Fairfax Connector took over and renumbered the routes. This is the official TAGS map. It's a little hard to read, so here's my version. In total, there are 4 routes. All 4 run from Monday to Friday only, no weekend service. Route 350 costs 50 cents to ride. 351, 352, and 353 are all free. The other main difference between the routes, other than the fare, is at what times these buses run. The 350 and 353 run from about 6 in the morning to 7 in the evening. But the 351 and 352 do not run all day. The 351 starts at 6:30, but the last run is at 10:30. The 352 then takes over for the next 4 hours until 2:30, and from then until 7, it's back to the 351. So now let's see what the passenger information is like here at Franconia Springfield. So it's kind of bad how outdated the signs are here at the bus station, because if you look at that, there's the S80 and the S91 TAGS buses, which it's been several years now since those have transferred to Fairfax Connector and gotten different route numbers. As far as I've been able to tell, all the maps at all these stops still have the outdated information on them. Yep, even in the TAGS bus shelter, the maps are not up to date. It's interesting, the 350 gets a regular Fairfax Connector sign, but the 351, 2, and 3 get a TAGS sign. We'll start in numerical order with the 350. This one goes to Springfield Town Center and the Hilton, and this one costs 50 cents to ride. So I figured I don't need to go to a random Hilton, let's go to the mall. So I pull the stop request button, we turn off the main road to stop in front of the mall entrance. Wait, did I say stop? No, silly me. I even got up, but we just kept driving. On to the Hilton, I guess. Except the driver skipped that too. then went back to the mall again and skipped it again. The doors didn't even open until we were right back at the station. Did he even know I was in here? Back at Franconia Springfield. I need to sit down or something. Okay, I am beyond confused. So we drove through the mall, very circuitous route. I requested the mall stop. I stood up, he drove right past it, went to the Hilton. Maybe he thought I was going to the Hilton. I stood up again, drove right past it, drove through the mall again, didn't stop. And then now I'm back at Franconia Springfield and... what? Anyway, it's good that the next 3 tags routes are all free because I just paid 50 cents to travel exactly 0 miles. So now I'm waiting for route 351. 351 goes to the TSA and then Northern Virginia Community College, and it's a little bit after 10 in the morning right now. This is the last bus I can take until after 2 p.m. today. Yeah, the 351 kind of takes a lunch break.
Route 351. TSA, Franconia Springfield. Arriving in 3 minutes.
Fairfax Connector buses are usually orange like the one behind me, but these are different. These have one of the most unique liveries of any transportation system here in the Washington, D.C. area. Now, this bus behind me is interesting. It's red and white instead of the red, white, and orange. That's because it came from North Carolina's Wolf Line, and then when it was transferred to Fairfax Connector, they didn't bother getting rid of the old livery. They just added some stickers to it. But that's not the bus that we're taking today. Our buses are going to be green.
Connector. Route 352. TSA, Springfield Town Center. First bus arriving in 21 minutes. Second bus arriving in 41 minutes.
That green color, it reminds me of the Yufuin no Mori train in Japan, one of my favorite trains. This one's free, right? Yes. Specifically, this bus model is called the Orion 7. They were originally delivered to WMATA, which is why the seats inside are the exact same as on Metrobus. Metro still has some of these running in DC too, in a regular Metrobus livery, but this green livery was created especially for tags. When Fairfax Connector took them over in 2020, they just kept them green. It did seem to me like we were taking kind of a long way to get to the TSA building. I looked at the map and it looks like it's supposed to be right next to the metro station, but I didn't really think much of it. But once again, when I requested a stop, this time at the TSA building, the driver drove right on past. We served the medical education campus of Northern Virginia Community College and then drove back to the TSA building where he finally let me off. All right, the 351. Bus driver wasn't very talkative, kind of seemed annoyed that he had a passenger, but that's just kind of my experience with Fairfax Connector overall. But those little green Orion buses, I love the Orions. Sometimes in DC, I'll go out of my way to ride one of them. That green color is really sweet. And on the inside, you can definitely tell it used to be a Metro bus. It still has the fabric WMATA seats. In fact, since WMATA is replacing all the seats on their buses, it may be that by next year, these would be the only buses where you can still ride on those fabric seats. All right, so the bus stop for the TSA is just in an overgrown parking spot, but there's the TSA. Not quite as ugly as I imagined it. I can almost hear them screaming to take my shoes off. So if you're here at the TSA and you're hoping to go to Northern Virginia Community College, bad news, there's no bus until 2 o'clock. That's when the 351 resumes. But in the meantime, the 352 starts running. The 352 runs exactly when the 351 doesn't run, and it stops here at the TSA, then it goes to the Springfield Town Center Mall, and then back to Franconia Springfield. So now we're gonna ride the lunchtime bus, the 352. And I'm kind of hoping it's not the same bus with the same driver because he might give me a weird look. And the 352 is once again fare free. Okay, there's no signs for the 352, but Apple Maps says the stop is somewhere over here. That's a no parking sign. Hopefully it'll stop for me.
But after waiting a lot longer than the transit app suggested that I would, I thought maybe this isn't the best place to wait for it.
So I'm thinking, just to be safe, let's just walk back to Franconia Springfield. It is a 2-minute walk. Okay, so that apartment building is where the bus dropped me off. That's Franconia Springfield Station. Can somebody tell me why there's a bus?
I understand why there's a bus. It's for accessibility reasons, but it's still funny to me that it took 10 minutes for the bus to drop me off 2 minutes away from where I got on it. Anyway, once back at Franconia Springfield, fortunately it was not a long wait until the 352 showed up. This time a regular Fairfax Connector bus again. Remember, the 352 only runs from about 10:30 to 2:30, and on the Fairfax Connector online tracker, it is listed as the TAGS Springfield TSA lunch route. So I guess it really just exists to get people from the TSA to the mall for their lunch break. Anyway, once again, I looked outside, and this time I knew for sure that we were not going the way that the transit app or the schedule was saying we were supposed to. But when approaching the TSA, I pulled the stop request cord, and the driver actually stopped and let me off.
Thank you.
I figured I'd just walk back to the metro station for the last TAGS route.
So the Apple Maps is wrong. The 352 actually just uses the same bus stops as the 351 over at TSA. Doing the same walk back to Franconia Springfield, and I have to say the 352 confuses me. The route does not follow the map. The maps and the schedule, it says that it's going to TSA first, then the mall, then back to TSA, then back to the station. We went to the mall first, then to TSA, then I got off, but it looks like the bus went back to the mall and then back to the station. Okay, now that I'm editing the video, I think I figured out what's going on. So back in July when I was filming this, I was using information from the transit app, Apple Maps, and the PDF schedules online. It seems that at some point, buses stopped using this short little road called the Metro Access Road between the TSA and the metro station. For reference, that's the road that I was walking on in the last clip. So instead, now the 351 and the 352 take a detour past the mall to get to the TSA. Now, if you go to the PDF schedule today, you'll find that the route is accurate. It shows that the bus goes that way. Same with the transit app. But back when I was filming this, both the schedule and the transit app were still showing the old routing. So I'm glad they've corrected it, but for a long time, the information was just false. Okay, we got one left. It's the 353. This one goes to Metro Park. The last three were all eventful and unexpected, so for this one, I think I'm just going to plan on staying on it for the full loop.
First bus arriving in 6 minutes. Second bus arriving in 21 minutes.
Ruta 352. Destino Springfield.
Luckily, we get another green-colored Orion 7 on the 353. And finally, for once, it was a pretty uneventful trip. The driver even let me off at the stop I requested. Can you believe it?
All right, nothing went wrong. It's not a mall, but a strip mall, but it's almost lunchtime, it'll do. So the bright side is the 353 brought me to the Dunkin' with the nicest staff I've ever met, so that's great. Time to refresh a little bit. The TAGS bus system, man, I want to say it was all bad, but it wasn't. There were good parts. 15 to 20 minute frequencies, not bad. The fact that it like stops right in the mall, right in the hotel lobby, right in front of the TSA, not bad. Also love the green color of the buses. But the bad parts, oh boy. it's unreliable. I'm really sorry. The map is already kind of difficult to read for a first-time user, and then the 350 and the 351 skipped my stops. The 352 just didn't follow the route that it was supposed to at all. I've only had a positive experience with the 353. And it's ironic because TAGS, the Transportation Association of Greater Springfield, it's a non-profit. I mean, do they really even care? None of the information at the stations was remotely up to date. Even a lot of the information online, it was easier to find information that was outdated than it was to find information that was up to date. And there's no ridership. Like, it was always either only me or me and one other person. I don't know what came first, the chicken or the egg, but it's depressing. Guys, I really wanted to be positive. I was really looking forward to this. Part of that was because of the green buses, of course, but also I was just curious to see what the system was like. Sure, there have been some improvements over the years. I think the fact that every route has its own number now, I think that is a good thing. But never have I experienced such an almost deliberate attempt to make the transit user experience as miserable as possible. TAGS, you're not it.
Basically, TAGS could be a great idea, but it seems all but forgotten. I wonder what it would be like if somebody from the association or from Fairfax Connector would ride it and have the day I had. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to Trains Are Awesome. Thanks so much for watching today. We'll see you next time.